Let the sun shine. You're watching the 2023 World Lacrosse Men's Championship presented by Rady Children's Hospital. Today, last day in the pool at Torero Stadium in San Diego. Fans ready for Australia to meet Haudenosaunee on ESPN. The Haudenosaunee enter today's battle still smarting after narrow losses to the U.S. and Canada. A determined Lyle Thompson plans to drive his team into the playoffs on a high note, while Lockie Walker and Australia, they want third place in this pool, all for themselves. It is so great to see you again. Along with Quinn Kesnick, I'm Joe Beninati. We've seen this matchup carry a lot of weight in the Worlds in the past. What do you make of it now that it's the last game of pool play?
I think schedule dynamics are notable here, considering that the Haudenosaunee are coming off night games, emotional, physical contests against the USA and Canada. And meanwhile, Australia had a day off. They had yesterday to go to the beach. They went to the movies last night. They are fresh and hungry.
While we drive attention to the standings in Pool A play, we can tell you that spots 1, 2, and 5 are locked up.
I think important here, the United States and Canada, they get the day off. They get tomorrow off as well, and so that bodes well for them. Both teams have some players on the roster who are nicked up.
If Australia is to pull an upset today, you'd imagine goalie Sean Aaron has to be exceptional.
This is a young man who grew up in Virginia, went to Union College and played for Paul Wareham, decided to move to Australia early in his 20s. He's lived there for nearly 10 years. He works in sales. He's got a young family of two children, and man, he can make stops. The big lefty plays on a pretty high arc. And he's been terrific in this event.
Haudenosaunee will challenge him. Great instincts on offense from Austin Stotts and Lyle Thompson.
It's been a little bit of a 1-2 punch righty-lefty combination. Lyle regarded as the best player in the world with his creativity, his free-flowing game, and then Austin's finishing ability on the left side. This guy barrels to pay dirt. No one can steal the ball from him, and he has been a goal machine with 8 goals in one game.
Stay right there for Fun in the Sun from San Diego. World Lacrosse Men's Championships, they continue. Australia, Haudenosaunee, straight ahead next. Starting a new work week in San Diego, just gorgeous for the 2023 World Lacrosse Men's Championship, presented by Rady Children's Hospital. Haudenosaunee and Australia concluding matters in Pool A play today. Joe Beninati and Quinn Kesnick with you. We are sure of that. We were unsure of the starting goaltender for Australia, and it proves to be Ryan Spark today instead of Sean Aaron, the same Ryan Spark who made 11 stops against the United States on Friday.
Nothing like the Aussies. They have a great sense of humor. I was down there, and I asked them flat out, who's starting today? And they said Sean Aaron was. Well, these guys, they're known as the Step Brothers. They both have identical mustache. Ryan Spark's got 3 kids. Sean Aaron has 2. He is 36 years old, the righty.
They're starting to look like each other. They hang out so often together. Officials are Nick Schmidt, Mark Buckley, Ryan Knowles, Mike Leahy, and Keith Glock. It is Australia in the green and gold, and about to win the first possession. Lucas Parsons-Quintio will be very apparent, a strong, short-stick defensive midfielder for the Aussies, who are 1 and 2, same as Haudenosaunee. This is the battle for third place in Pool A. Playoffs set to begin, first round, in fact, tomorrow. 107 total games in this tournament, all featured on the ESPN family of networks. By the time work is done today, Q will be more than halfway home in that 107.
Yeah, and as we turn the corner, I think energy is important. Are teams improving, or have they hit a wall? What's your health situation? It's only 23-man rosters.
Panting on the go, wrapped up there, nice check by Jackson to strip, and away comes Oakley Thomas for Haudenosaunee. Then he gets trail checked. The hustle play made by Isaac Cahill. Ball belongs to Haudenosaunee. First offensive touch, 6-on-6.
Oakley playing with the hickory stick to start this game.
Waiting for subs to come on. Piscino plays a little cat and mouse game. That's Jacob Piscino, the close defender who has got a couple of goals in this event already.
I think worth watching, Joe, is Australia's defensive strategy. What's their slide mentality? Okay, A, how do they match up with Lyle Thompson? How do they match up with Randy Stotts? And then B, do they support those matchups aggressively and double team? or are they more likely to let Lyle score his unassisted goals?
Bomberry from the flank, given a nudge by his opposite 43 there, Donnie Howard, who plays collegiately at Boston University. Randy Stotts throws back to brother Austin. He'll lean in on Ashby Dennis and bounce that one wide. A physical confrontation between Austin Stotts and Ashby Dennis.
Body on body, body on body. It's Chris Moffitt who draws the Lyle Thompson assignment, 10 in green.
Millsop keeping tabs now on Kyle Jackson. That's a tough cover. Jackson, who does a little bit of everything for head coach Lars Tiffany and Haudenosaunee.
Jackson was on the field the entire game last night. An unbelievable performance.
They added to his defensive responsibilities an evening ago. Lyle Thompson bluffs that shot from down under against the guys from down under. It's Australia and Haudenosaunee first up here at Torero Stadium. Canada and England in the nightcap. Randy Stotts off the swim. Measured there well by Lockie Russell. Randy Stotts hoping to draw a double. None comes. Stotts will feed. He'll keep it hot. There's no shot clock for those of you just jumping on board with us in the World Championships. No shot clock in this event. Zach Miller finds Jackson. They'll swing it in Lyle's direction again. He carries the ball quite a bit. Lyle Thompson wrapped up there and hatcheted by Chris Moffitt. He can get a little bit nasty on the defensive end.
He's a lanky right-hander.
Miller gets sandwiched, knocked down to the deck. Ball is loose, and it comes up green for Australia with a whistle behind the play, awarding the ball back to Haudenosaunee.
The outback is an unforgiving territory, as is the middle of the field when these Aussies are playing physical defense. But the length of this possession now benefits the Haudenosaunee.
Austin Stotts looking to barrel through his defender. Gets underneath, didn't shoot it there as he tiptoes the crease. Almost 4 minutes in, looking for the first strike. Randy Stotts weathering the storm. Austin Stotts turns the corner, grappling with Dennis, and a flag comes down. Stotts fires, that's off the frame of the goal as a second flag hits the turf.
First one's going to be a hold. Up high. He's a bear. He's just a bear. Austin Stotts is a bear coming into your yard, looking to get your grill, looking to get the oil that's on your grill, and you got to tackle a bear.
He's a hungry bear right now on extra man. Randy Stotts surveys the defense. Beautiful behind the back there. They keep it moving quickly. Williams finds the open man, and that's a rip from McLaughlin to start the scoring.
Extra man opportunities, I think they count a little more in the international game where there's no shot clock. Just simple passing around the outside. Watch the shooter, left-handed McLaughlin, use the defender a little bit as a screen. He shoots off of his hip, and the reaction from the goaltender, Spark, was that he never really picked up the ball out of the pocket in the air.
Eli McLaughlin subbing in for an injured Dahoga Nanticoke, who was nicked in the NLL, the indoor game playoffs. To the face-off X we go. Tim Graham digging deep for Australia against Jeremy Thompson. Lars Tiffany thought he might give Jeremy a little bit of the day off today. We haven't seen any of that. Big number 74 wants to be out there, and in Lars's words, he's timeless.
36-year-old, getting better with age.
Sloppy pass there. Turns out to be over and back against Australia, and the Aussies
costly.
need to value the possessions.
Joe, that's huge costly in this game, because you think about it, if the Haudenosaunee are vulnerable, it's because of fatigue. Okay, how do you beat fatigue? Well, you possess the ball and make their defense work. And so far in this game, the possession arrow, the possession time has been severely tilted towards the guys in purple and white.
Almost halfway through the opening quarter, Eli McLaughlin gets his first World Championship marker to put Haudenosaunee in front. Slowing tempo now with Kyle Jackson. Former Michigan Wolverine on the go, gets past The shorty there and goes to the roof. A spectacular shot. Does it count? Yes. Kyle Jackson with a beautiful move on Donnie Howard and a better finish.
What stands out here is deception. Jackson out of Michigan, 2016, plays this summer for the PLL Chaos. Watch as he's falling. All visual indicators of this shot are that the ball's going to come out low. And you see the goalie match up stick on stick down low, except at the last second, Jackson goes to a high release. And that trickery proves to be the difference.
Jackson, who was such a big helper in the opener with 4 assists, calls his own number there in expert fashion. Haudenosaunee squaring off with Australia in World Lacrosse Men's Championship play today, just about halfway through the opening quarter. And Q, you mentioned it, the wooden stick. Starting the game, Oakley Thomas was playing with that stick. And last week, Alf Jacques passed away at the age of 74. He makes the stick that Lars Tiffany so often is brandishing on the sideline. A tremendous ambassador of the game who passed on the wisdom of this traditional game.
Two things that stand out for Alfie. Number one is the tradition of the process of making the wooden stick and how it's the hickory tree taken from the forest and the gut from the animal. And then the storytelling that went along with it, how he would invite people out to the factory. Teams who came up to Central New York to play Syracuse or others would go to his house and watch him in his craft, and he was an amazing storyteller.
Dad Lou helped to teach him around age 12.
So thousands and thousands of people learned about the sport, about stick making, and about the traditions of this indigenous game through Alfie.
Alfie, so well respected, beloved by so many. Rest in peace. 7 minutes to go in quarter one. Haudenosaunee looking to even its pool play record. The pass that's deflected away. Good defense by Lockie Russell. Australia looks for its first offensive possession, a full-fledged 6-on-6. They may have numbers here. Millsop getting up with Howard. Howard going to the goal, ridden all the way back there by Lyle Thompson. And this one trickles out of bounds. And again, no 6-on-6 set so far for Australia. Goals on the board from McLaughlin and Kyle Jackson. White jerseyed Haudenosaunee in front.
That's a situational awareness that's got to exist, okay? And if you're one of those attackmen, you want to be yelling and talking to that ball carrier, Joe. Hey, wave at him like, hey, let's slow it down, okay? This is, they had a trailer break there, but given the fact that they've played defense exclusively the entire game so far, you got to get more out of that possession.
Head coach Glenn Meredith for Australia has been lamenting the slow starts for his squad. Said they needed to be better out of the blocks today. They have not been just yet. Quick pass to the interior. That one rattles the post and out. Bombery had a great chance there to make it a 3-0 lead. Now Lockie Walker takes it back for Australia, who had a couple of goals against Canada on Saturday. The Australians were off yesterday. This is the 4th straight day of play for Haudenosaunee. And a whistle comes with a timeout called by Australia.
The Aussies went up to Pacific Beach yesterday and enjoyed some of the surf. Remember, it is winter right now in Australia. They were talking about how beautiful the beaches in Perth are, where they're just 5 minutes from the city. And the players that I spoke to pregame today enjoying the Mexican food here, and specifically the tacos in San Diego.
Plenty of outstanding food to sample.
It's always a challenge. When we think about this event, we forget about this is an international sporting event where Uganda's here, Australia's here, Hong Kong, China here. So you're dealing with different diets, different food, different time zone, different climate. And so being able to ramp up, to get to a location, to get comfortable, to get hydrated, to stay within your training regimen, it's not as easy as it looks. Talking to Sean Aaron and Ryan Spark, both goaltenders for Australia, they have kids who are here on the trip, but staying with the wives. So they were like, hey, this is great. We actually get to sleep on this trip. Said, how you guys dealing with the time change? She's like, absolutely fine, mate. Fine, mate. I go, what do you do with the kids? They go, please don't say this, But the kids are with the wives.
And you just did. You outed them.
Ryan Sparks got 3 kids. I love Vivi and Tommy. His wife Chanel is here. Sean Aaron's got 2 children, Seamus and Patty. He married a woman from Ireland. Her name is Mia. 2 characters in the net for the Aussies.
Ryan, you said from Perth. It's already Tuesday morning there, 7:18 in the morning to be specific.
I flew to Sydney once, Joe. It was plus 20, maybe 22 hours. I remember I was tired by the time I got to L.A., and that was just like 10% of it. I think I watched 6 movies and finished like 2 books. No sleep.
Flag down against Haudenosaunee. Campbell McKinnon going to the cage, slithering between defenders. Now the whistle comes, and Australia will get its first extra man try on the day.
This is big. They need some momentum right now. They're kind of sputtering. As you said, they've been a slow starting team in this event. They were here early. They looked ready to go. They were first on the field. Had a pretty snappy warm-up.
Coaches put them through their paces. They've had an extra man practice session earlier in the day here in San Diego. Let's see if practice makes perfect.
What I sense is that they don't have a go-to guy.
Lockie Walker's back behind the cage. They changed the formation. Houston here. Straight away for Panting and around the horn. Braden Panting looking over the Haudenosaunee man-down defense. Baker. Walker. Houston to the interior off the skip. It gets away from Baker. Jerry Stotts looking for the ground ball for Haudenosaunee. Man ball drills going on, and it comes up green for Braden Panting. Panting, a winner of the Isaacson Trophy, best player in Australia recently. The Aussies trailing by 2. Tail end of the opening quarter. Haudenosaunee back to even strength. Cahill bluffs it, brings it for Panting. In the estimation of the coaching staff, number 5 plays the game like a bull. See if he'll be able to push through Haudenosaunee's defense. Lars Tiffany has had some very good things to say about his group.
Oh, he's got a guy near side.
Ball down, gets away, and comes up for Matt Houston. Defended by Oakley Thomas.
Yeah, zone from the Haudenosaunee.
Baker plays collegiately at Rutgers, over the top, long drive, and Warren Hill had the answer there for a BB from Matt Wood.
That was exquisite defense by the Haudenosaunee. First of all, the man down, and then they elect to just pack it in a zone. We have not seen that from Coach Lars Tiffany. But knowing that maybe the legs are tired, it's a smart strategy, and they just pack it in a 3-3 zone and beg the offense to take a shot from the outside. Warren Hill does his job.
Lars Tiffany is the head coach. Vince Longboat gets the defensive coordinator credit as Haudenosaunee looks to clear. There's no failure to advance in the World Championship. It's a limitless clock to get across the midline. McLaughlin getting downhill against Parsons Quintio. That pass gets away. It'll be a turnover to Australia, looking for its first marker on the afternoon.
Warren Hill has accounted for himself, I think, fairly well between the pipes for the Haudenosaunee. This is a young man, a lefty, 6 Nations in the Hill Academy, played at Syracuse. Was on this team in 2014 when they earned bronze in Denver.
4 times representing Haudenosaunee.
But he has had a little bit of a break in the calendar in terms of playing field lacrosse. In fact, his chest protector was eaten by a bunch of mice when he left it in his bag.
Imagine having to admit that to your coach.
He did. I would have hid that. I would have just said my chest protector was disappeared on me. I gave it to a youngster. I signed it and gave it to a youngster.
It was an autograph item.
He admitted, Coach, I haven't been taking many shots lately. My chest protector's toast. Really, toast.
Toast. Aussies have it. Baker. Another extra man opportunity.
No inside presence with this group right now. Look at them. They're in a full circle.
Long range score! Panting from deep.
You touted Panting, Joe. Good call. Part of the Wembley Wolves Lacrosse Club. Good-looking young athlete, can play attack, can play midfield. Finds his comfort zone, finds his hot spot right here, and he's able to set his feet, ping that lower corner. Beautiful, beautiful accuracy.
Wembley Lacrosse Club in Western Australia. Panting, the coaches have said he's come to this event in great shape. Time's a wasted in the World Championships. First, second, third quarter, you don't get stoppage time until the final 30 seconds. It's the final 2 minutes of the fourth on dead ball situations. 20 ticks remaining in this one. A chance for Australia to knot the score at the end of the opening frame. Tim Graham waiting. Isolating there against Jackson. Tim Graham, the first ever Aussie to go to Cornell to play lacrosse. Takeaway, Pacino launches it on down, and we are done with the opening 15 in San Diego. Haudenosaunee had the first two on the board. McLaughlin and Jackson gave the white jerseyed squad the advantage. The Aussies would respond. An extra man strike from Braden Panting. He tallied against the United States on Friday. He's done it against the Haudenosaunee Nationals today. We'll carry on. Quarter number 2 coming your way in just a few moments from Torero Stadium in beautiful San Diego. Over the Aussies today through 15 minutes. As we get back to the face-off XQ, Jeremy Thompson has an unusual approach.
Yeah, at times you'll see him look up at the referee, where most face-off players will stare straight down at the ball. That time he didn't look up, but he'll often gaze up to see the whistle in the referee's mouth. And I asked him pregame, Joe, I said, Jeremy, why do you do that? He said, I played with a deaf teammate, box, when I was younger. A face-off man who could not hear the whistle, who relied strictly on his eyes, who would look up. And Jeremy incorporated that into his face-off game at a young age, and he's felt that at times it gives him a little edge. He likes to mix things up. That's one of his tricks in his tool bag.
Australia tallied on extra man in the opening quarter. First 15 minutes did not have a lot of 6-on-6 possession time. It was heavily favored to Haudenosaunee. The Aussies attacking against Warren Hill in the cage. Panting, the goal scorer for the Australians. A jitterbug move on Jackson. The feed inside. Cahill keeps it moving. One more. Good close out there defensively by Jerry Stotts. Lars Tiffany was asking for Stotts and Oakley Thomas to be better today.
These two teams, big picture, have met for the bronze medal in 2014 in Denver, 2018 in Netanya. The winner goes to 3 and faces Hong Kong, China unofficially, and the loser would drop to 4 and probably play the Netherlands tomorrow.
Playoffs first round beginning tomorrow. Haudenosaunee defender hung up there, so Hill is hedging out of the crease. No shot clock in World Championship play.
I got to watch Hong Kong, China play earlier today at San Diego State. I was blown away by their speed and size. Really tall, slender, and fast.
Powering in, Hill made the stop there on Panting, who controlled the ball for quite a while with the Haudenosaunee D hung up.
It's not the scouting report for Warren Hill, but he can fill it up.
You mentioned the bronze medal game in Israel in 2018. Aussies put 5 of the last 6 goals on the board. That was a 14-12 win for the then Iroquois. Austin Stotts had 4 goals in each of the 2 games against Australia in that tournament. He's been quiet so far today. McLaughlin and Jackson on the board as Ron John takes this one for a ride. Pacino off the roll dodge for Austin Stotts.
Pacino, Joe, has auditioned himself. He's got a year remaining at Albany. But this is a guy, and I know the PLL coaches, the pro and outdoor coaches are watching this competition. Has he not showcased himself extremely well, both in covering and ground balls?
So well, and you made the point earlier, he reminds you of Adler.
He's like Gavin Adler 2.0. They're like twins. He's my height His beard is bigger than me, though. But 78 ground balls for Albany and the Great Danes. It's your 50 caused turnovers, and you just see he's fearless. He's trying over the head checks on world-class players. I've been nothing but blown away by the play of 88 and White.
America East Defensive Player of the Year. Lyle Thompson ready to go. Keep it on the outside. Zach Miller off the face dodge. That pass for Randy Stotts. Stotts is saying it was deflected. The officials agree, so it will stay Haudenosaunee ball. Off this reset, Thompson, long-range fire, and that's stabbed by the netminder Ryan Spark.
You get a gut feeling, based on the pacing we've seen so far, that this game's going to be a rock fight. This game's going to be an NFL football game from the 1950s. Final score 13-10, and somebody's going to kick a field goal late and win this bad boy. I just don't see an up-and-down, energetic, frenetic type pacing where one team's going to pull away. I think, as you see the save by Spark, I just think this is going to be a dogfight.
Ryan Spark, who grew up playing cricket and Aussie rules football, he says his goalie instincts in part come from being a wicket keeper, tracking the bowlers. Whatever works for you. Cahill, who had 3 goals against England early in this event. Connor McDonough had 2 in the very same game. Low scoring today now, almost 20 minutes into the contest. McDonough off the roll dodge, gets underneath, scores! And a flag.
He's fired up, operating like a Tasmanian devil at the goal line extended. Not the biggest cat. Liked his goal against England from the inside against the zone, but look at him here, he'll dodge. McDonough from Morristown, New Jersey, plays for Sean Nadeline at Towson. Upfield, ducks underneath. Tries to dive with a tangent of the crease, Joe, but the defender rides him into the crease. Ball's in, then he falls in the crease. Goal is good.
Deadlocked at 2 apiece. Haudenosaunee had the first 2. Australia the last 2. Off the draw, the hold here against Haudenosaunee, giving possession to Tim Graham and Team Australia. McDonough, one of Australia's jitterbugs. He and Cal Gibson and Isaac Cahill given that moniker. Second time for McDonough to represent Australia on the national level. Did so for the under-19 team in Ireland last summer. Aussies looking for their first lead on the day. Lucas Parsons Quintio flashing in against Jackson. Here comes the help from Pacino. Walker over the top, and Hill shuffles over neatly to make the save.
It had him beat, Joe, did it not? Hill took that one underneath, but at the last second got his right shoulder up.
Zed Williams, normally a star attackman, has been playing long stick close defense in this event. Never shy to move the ball ahead, 36 in the white.
A masterful late adjustment by Hill.
Williams fires with a long stick, kick out save by Spark. Rebound off the turf belongs to Chris Moffitt. Clearing time for Jeff Millsop, perhaps the most skillful of the long sticks for Australia. Spark to clear away from Austin Stotts. Now Ashby Dennis. Had a very scary injury in his past, an experience with compartment syndrome. The doctors had to save his leg. 3 in the goal.
Chronic fascia issues in the shin and calf and ankle area can lead to excruciating pain. It's becoming more common. I wonder if it's becoming more of a sports-specific injury, exacerbated by some of these plastic fields we play on.
McDonough on the move. 2-2 game. Panting. Had the extra man goal in the opening quarter. Redodge fire. Hill makes another good-looking stop. Panting, though, gets his own rebound. Another possession for the Aussies. Over the top with a bullet.
He's a man on a mission. Wow, what a goal. The Sharks on their feet. 3 straight after being down 2-0. One of the most ridiculous lines I've ever seen. The Aussies were getting 9 goals in this game. Go to the bank, folks. The Aussies are here, and they're going to give the Haudenosaunee a fight.
Australia popping into the lead with Panting showing off his outside shooting ability. Well-deserved refreshments when you watch the replay. This one tickles the twine from Panting and vaults Australia to the lead. We'll get you back at Torero Stadium in just a few moments on ESPN. Just past the midway mark of the second quarter, and suddenly, Quint, the Sharks are in the pool with 3 straight tallies, Panting the last of which.
Yeah, I think Timmy Graham's done a better job in the faceoffs, and so the possession game has been evened up. But Panting comes off that loose ball with a ferocious attitude, and he's given a little bit of green space there, and he just says, you know what, I'm going to put my shoulder down, I'm going to deal with this cross-check of the shorty, and I'm going to shoot through the traffic. So he's got 2 goals, a power play goal, and that was maybe one of the more explosive goals we've seen from the Sharks in this event.
Panting, who tallied against the United States Friday in a 12-3 loss to the Stars and Stripes. The Americans have solidified. They've gone through pool play unbeaten. They are the #1 seed and get the bye into the quarterfinals. Off the draw, Graham's going to the cage. Quickly for Lockie Walker. Zed Williams there on that defensive assignment. Pacino then to the rescue as Haudenosaunee digs in, trailing for the first time today.
Tim Graham made that look easy. You mentioned Cornell, 2023, just graduated, going to move to New York City and work as a mechanical engineer. He's got 3 years there. His mom, Ann, has made the trip from Melbourne. He represented Australia in the Tanya back in 2018, where he crushed it. He was like 18 years old, and he won
only 18
and he won 52%. The issue with Tim is he goes to college and they change the face-off rules. So there's no more motorcycle grip, there's no more knee down. But now we're back in international rules. That plays to his strengths, his techniques, his professionalism. Great kid.
Australians on the end line here. Matt Houston looking to keep it alive. It goes back to Haudenosaunee. A low-scoring affair, 3-2 in favor of the Aussies.
He made a name for himself in Netanya. We sang his praises on ESPN, and I know Clark and I both feel that Tim's first paycheck that he gets from that mechanical engineering firm in New York City, that we want to cut. We want to cut. We touted this guy, and we got him to Cornell. Feel so proud that we did that.
There's a percentage involved.
Like a headhunter, right?
Exactly. Lyle Thompson has the ball for Haudenosaunee.
A little quiet for, I think the big 3 on attack have been a little quiet. Lyle Thompson, Randy Stotts, and Austin Stotts.
Lyle Thompson, multi-goals in all 3 of Haudenosaunee's first 3, including a couple of hat tricks. Dealing with Moffitt today off the roll dodge, 2-man game. Ball comes loose. Good defense there for Australia. As they rev it back up, Donnie Howard leads the charge.
Did Moffitt get him on a kind of a trail check with as a hook?
Snap.
As a hook almost.
Oh, yeah. McDonough being attacked. Heine Thompson, who didn't play against Canada Sunday, has earned a flag here.
He popped him in the helmet. Looks like he slashed him in the helmet. I heard it. Aussies playing with great energy. I love their body language on their bench. Look how positive they are with one another. Here's the call. Boom, right there, or right there. Either one, take your choice. 2 for $1 here in San Diego. You can get those fish tacos. They give you 3, but it'll cost you more like $29.99.
Lars Tiffany's been talking about his team taking fewer penalties in this event. He's been pleased with his group in that regard. As we get the timeout asked for with just over 5 minutes to go in the half. If you're tuning in, Haudenosaunee jumped out quickly. 2-0 advantage for Coach Tiffany there in the hat and the sunglasses. But then Australia has responded.
Lars was perfectly honest with you and with me pregame when he understood the challenges here in terms of the schedule dynamics.
Without a doubt. And
he's going to probably speak up when this tournament is over to ask for more equity in the schedule. Consider that they played Team USA, thrilling night game, a lot of emotion.
And he loved that.
Stood toe-to-toe.
We could sleep well.
It was awesome. It was awesome. The next night, it's Ali Frazier. Okay, it's Canada. It's Ali Fraser. So you got Ali Foreman followed by Ali Fraser, and now you're staring at Ken Norton, and Australia's Ken Norton, and Australia's pretty darn good. And if you don't come into that fight fully stocked and ready to go, you're going to get yourself in trouble. And I think that's what the Haudenosaunee are dealing with right now.
And if Haudenosaunee gets through to the quarterfinals, they'll have played 6 days in a row. Have a look at the world rankings from 1 through 10. There are 30 teams at this event, all via qualification.
Yeah, congratulations to those who will make the bracket. The 14 teams will make the bracket. I was over at San Diego State today. I got to see Hong Kong, China, and Mexico. Love the Mexico uniforms. Israel was really impressive and dominant. I ran into Bill Baroza, who's a supporter of that Israel team over there, and a bunch of members of the Kraft family are in town. I think Japan and Israel, Joe, have been the big storylines from the non-Pool A teams.
Nathaniel Solomon for Israel had 5 against Puerto Rico yesterday. Italy, who you and I have a scouting date tomorrow with, Christian Cuccinello, 6 + 2 = 8 today against Austria.
So Japan, Italy, Israel, Ireland, Jamaica. To me, it'll be interesting to see if someone can leapfrog England.
The 14th edition of these World Championships. Australia gets to work. Working against Haudenosaunee, 2 men down. And the Nationals get the steal of the takeaway from Piscino.
Clean
to clear.
I mean, how about that play? One-handed, stick in the passing lane, and he snags it clean.
Really, the next big name on defense for the Haudenosaunee Nationals is Piscino. He has made that name for himself in the first 6 days of this event. Mainly during his collegiate days, I would think, as an LSM,
yeah,
but playing close in this event. Randy Stotts has been quiet so far today. Lockie Russell is with him. Austin Stotts, who had the 8-goal explosion in the opener for Haudenosaunee against England, getting doubled on the outside. Millsap there puts the sandwich on with the Dennis. The flag is down as Australia is going shorthanded.
Wow. You talk about an effective double team, but they take this one over the line. Austin Stotts. He's put in a Vegemite sandwich right here.
Ashby Dennis has a seat in the penalty box. Randy Stotts working back behind the cage. Haudenosaunee now back to full strength. McLaughlin inside. He scores. Second of the day for Eli McLaughlin.
The Aussie defense is milling around, looking at each other like, where did he come from? Where did he come from? He came straight from the substitution box, and he wasn't on the field initially when the whistle blows. Sometimes in these international rules, you segue from one phase into the other, and here he is. You see right side of the screen, 3. He comes in all the way from the sub box and loops around and just continues his cut. He's got 2 goals right now. The lefty filling in for Dehoga Nanticoke. McLaughlin has hit pay dirt twice and a big goal for the Haudenosaunee.
Eli, who hails from Surrey, British Columbia, Canada, beautiful part of the world, says lacrosse was the only sport he played when he was growing up. Tim Graham gets the draw for Australia in this 3-3 affair. Running time until there are 30 seconds left in the second quarter. The Aussies working the end line. Lockie Walker chased by Zed Williams. What have you thought of Williams with a long stick in this event?
Oh, I talked to him before the game. I said, your pro coach, Jim Stagnita of the PLL Whipsnakes. Jokingly, I said I was texting with him. Zed, he says he's thinking about moving you to defense. That's how good you're doing. No, he's been so impressive. I think it's been refreshing.
Tim Graham.
You need to break the stereotypes.
Walker sent this one wide.
You're a lacrosse player, and we can find spots for you, whether it's midfield, attack, defense. Just be a lacrosse player.
In this sport, on a shot, closest to the ball where and when it leaves the field gets possession. The officials awarding that to Warren Hill and Haudenosaunee. for the final 90 seconds of the half.
I would equate it, Joe, to football. Let's say Ted Williams, he's a running back. We need you at linebacker or defensive end this week. Ted Williams is going to be a pretty good defensive end.
Put me in, coach.
You see it in hockey. Guys can change roles in the NBA. And it's going to benefit him. There will be a terrific learning curve from this experience.
Zach Miller, his great speed, isolating from the top. Miller gets into the alley. No shooting lane for him. Bomberry, one of the leaders, one of the captains on this squad. Very athletic in the midfield. Randy Stotts turns the corner, gets inside and scores! Randy Stotts.
'30-year-old righty out of Six Nations. Played for the Orange back in 2015. Just turns the corner. Great stick protection. He's got those wide shoulders. He's fearless. He's willing to take a check or two. This is a guy, when he was at OCC, Onondaga, the JUCO, he averaged 8.6 points per game.
Whoa.
I've never heard of anything close to that. 8.6 points per game.
Two-time JUCO national scoring champ, Randy Stotts at Onondaga Community College. 156 points.
8.6.
In 2013.
A game. He had a bad game. He only had 6.
Oh, my goodness.
That's
Randy
ridiculous numbers.
had a couple of goals against England, 2 more against Canada.
You know what I love about him, Joe? The behind-the-back passes that he can make while covered. To me, it's so simple. It's never done for flash. It's always done for functionality.
Defenders taught to try and hedge and force a player to his or her weak side.
Exactly.
Stotts just eliminates that with his ability to flick.
So you take this fancy pen of yours and you play me upfield. Well, the easy way is to flip it over my shoulder. He creates leverage. He takes what the defense gives.
Last 2 goals on the board for Haudenosaunee, racing what was a 3-2 Australia lead. McLaughlin and Randy Stotts back-to-back. 3 different scorers for Haudenosaunee. Panting has a couple today for Australia in green. Both of these squads at 1 and 2, finishing up their Pool A standings. The winner gets positioned as the 3 seed heading into the playoff tournament, which begins tomorrow.
Good look at Stotts and Lyle Thompson. Stotts playing for the Halifax Thunderbirds. Thompson for the NLL's Georgia Swarm.
So Lyle would have come into this event fresh, right? He's been off since late April. Georgia didn't make the playoffs. And Lyle is not playing outdoors professionally this summer.
Taking the summer off.
2-time Tewaaraton Award winner.
Yeah, that has changed, Joe, since I remember covering the 1998 World Championship in Baltimore. That was pre-MLL. Jake Steinfeld was actually in the audience, and because of the USA-Canada game, said, why don't we do this and make a pro league? And then in 2001, they debuted MLL. Based on what he saw in that final between USA and Canada in Baltimore, sellout crowd in 98. So the international game gave birth to the pro game. The MLL became the PLL.
Lucas Parsons-Quintio took an ill-advised 50-yard shot there. Back comes Haudenosaunee, a chance to strike late in the half. Randy Stotts, time ticking. Goes between the legs of the bouncer. Fought off by Spark. 2 seconds, then 1, and the half ends with an acrobatic shot from who else? Lyle Thompson.
This one's going 15 rounds. We got that sense. You've got 2 teams coming to the end of pool play. Not much gas left in the tank today. Playing for the 3rd overall seed as bracket play starts tomorrow. But again, this one will go the duration.
Another beautiful sun-kissed day in San Diego. Now halfway home in regulation. Warren Hill doing his best. Ryan Spark at the opposite end, both netminders sharp. It's Haudenosaunee on top by 1 after 1 half of play. Stay right there with us. Halftime from Torero. Folks, you're watching the 2023 World Lacrosse Men's Championship presented by Rady Children's Hospital. Rady, which does such a terrific job, research, innovating, breaking ground Presenting sponsor for the 2023 World Lacrosse Men's Championship. Haudenosaunee has the 4-3 advantage after 30 minutes worth of work. Last goal scorer on the board, Randy Stotts, made it 4-3. As we get you to the face-off X, Nick Schmidt, Mark Buckley, Ryan Knowes, Mike Leahy, Keith Glock officiating this one. There are more than 60 officials presiding over this event. 30 teams heading into playoff round, first round with action tomorrow. The Haudenosaunee playing for their 4th consecutive day. Australia had the day off yesterday. Both of these teams are 1-2. So the winner of this will earn the 3rd seed in the approaching playoff tournament.
I love that this event showed the referees the respect that they deserve, walking them out as if they were the 31st team during the opening ceremonies in Snapdragon Stadium to a large applause, and they've gotten better and better. Every World Championship I've covered, the international officials have ramped their game up.
Randy Stotts picked up there on the outside by Lucas Parsons-Quintio. Parsons-Quintio is a rough customer getting into the midsection there. A drive, score! Jackson with a worm burner to get things started in the second half.
Separation will be critical. This is a deal where the defense is just ball watching. Everybody, you go halfway there, you double team, you're going to get burnt without a second slide. Should I stay or should I go now? Going halfway does nobody no good. And the Haudenosaunee pick you apart with passing. Jackson was probably in the ice bath late last night because, man, he logged some serious miles in that game.
Former Michigan Wolverine MVP. Violation here gives Australia the ball. A 2-goal deficit now. Haudenosaunee took care of Australia twice in the last World Championships played in Israel. Haudenosaunee, then the Iroquois Nationals. Name officially changed to Haudenosaunee in 2022.
Kyle Jackson, one of the pioneers of that Michigan program. I ran into Michigan head coach John Paul today, watching the Hong Kong-China game. He's done extensive work with the Japanese team in the past. But you think about a guy like Kyle Jackson at Michigan laying the foundation for what was a great year this year, and he can share in their success. You know, when you go to a new emerging program like that and you do all the hard work and years later they make the playoffs, you share in that success.
That program now piloted by Kevin Conry. Australia in the green, in possession here. Fastest player, one of the captains on this team, Matt Fuss. Sharing the ball with Matt Wood. Head coach Glenn Meredith mentioning there's more left-handed talents on this Australian squad than he can remember. And he's been affixed to the Australian World National Squad for quite some time.
30 years almost?
As a player and a coach, and now he's coaching a lot of the sons of players he was teammates with back in the day. Fuss on the run. Fuss to turn.
Fuss has been around forever himself.
He was an alternate in 2014. Goes from alternate all the way to being a captain some 9 years later. Pacino on the run. Thompson fires. He scores. Lyle Thompson.
Restart ready. Haudenosaunee off the whistle and the turnover. Put the pedal to the metal. Watch this pass by Pacino. I mean, he's running full speed, and he uncorks it and puts the ball right in the stick. Looked like Spark was confused on this. He's moving to his right and down low. That ball ends up in the upper portions of the net.
The 30-year-old Lyle Thompson, so fluid, so graceful, gets himself on the board. Largest lead on the day for the Haudenosaunee. They scramble forward off the ensuing face-off, and it comes up for Oakley Thomas. Run to the sideline ditch there by Parsons-Quintio. There's no failure to advance in the World Championships. There's also no shot clock. Clearing time now for Haudenosaunee.
Yeah, or
and Zed Williams.
Or no clearing clock either, Joe.
Right.
That's why Oakley made such a smart play there. You're not in a rush. He's running that ball up the box side. Things are starting to get crowded and hectic. He hits the brake, makes an illegal U-turn, and heads on back and throws it to his goalie. A really smart play, especially in this format. There is no rush.
Thomas Hogarth has it now. There's a flag down. Kyle Jackson backpedaling away from Donnie Howard. Officials sending Australia a man short. Haudenosaunee, when they're right, Q, they don't spend a lot of time on extra man before they push the pedal. They go right to the cage in a heartbeat. Randy Stott's operating back behind the cage, measured by Ashby Dennis.
Passing. One cradle and a pass.
Doesn't stay in the cross very long. Austin Stotts gets underneath, goes to the goal, put it off the outside of the frame. Possessions awarded to Australia off the crease violation. Just now 6 minutes old in the third quarter. Haudenosaunee finding its offensive rhythm, the only 2 goals in this frame. Ryan Spark set to clear. Guy who has battled through a couple of different ACL injuries. Got to give him tremendous credit. A couple of flags down now, this time against Haudenosaunee. Millsop cranks and fires. He scores! Jeff Millsop, who scored twice 5 years ago in Israel, cashes in again.
Seemed like there was some confusion defensively. First thing you got to do is call numbers and mark up. Call numbers and check up. Millsop's just given a little too much ground, and man, talk about a right-handed hammer. He's a skillful LSM. Wonton, New York, and Melbourne played at Adelphi, where he's a second-team All-American way back when in 2013.
Things are getting a little bit testy out there. Another flag down. Aussie fans approve of Millsop's BB. That's a long stick midfielder who loves and wants to play attack someday. Getting congratulations. Australia down 2. Rady Children's Hospital presenting sponsor of the 2023 World Lacrosse Men's Championship. The largest children's hospital on the West Coast, ranked among the 10 best children's hospitals in the nation. Surf's always up. The Aussies attempting to come back under Glenn Meredith's direction, trailing Haudenosaunee 6-4 as we move towards the second half of the third quarter, if you will. The officials have been getting an earful, and Haudenosaunee is now playing 2 men down. Baker back behind the cage for Walker. Houston turns it for Panting, who has an extra man goal today.
The inside guy in this formation offensively is critical.
Houston's on the outside, still on the exterior. They change the formation. Panting goes to the front of the goal. Walker shifting gears with Houston. Cahill bluffed it. Sneak and score! Matt Wood. That's what they practiced all morning.
Glenn Meredith, Coach Meredith, been with this program since 1990, and he knows his way around a world championship. They gave the guys some R&R yesterday. Went to the beach, Pacific Beach. I'm sure they ate their share of fish tacos, took home a movie last night, but this morning got them up early, and they were drilling the extra man, and man, that was a thing of beauty. That was perfect execution. Passes are all on target. The end result, a layup.
By Matt Wood, the chemistry lab technician by day. Lacrosse athlete in these world championships. Australia moves within 1 of Haudenosaunee. This is the battle for the number 3 seed. Playoff tournament action begins tomorrow in these World Championships. The United States and Canada have already secured numbers 1 and 2.
Wood is from Perth. Most of the good lacrosse played in Australia is on the west. I've been in Sydney. Sydney's more of a Australian rules football town with the Sydney Swans. But Wood is a Swiss Army knife. Little attack, little midfield. He lives in Perth.
It's good to be multifaceted. You give the coach options.
Well, especially, when you're talking about a 23-man roster, obviously, Joe, I mean, compare that to what we see at the college level. When you cover Big Ten games, teams have 55 to 60-man rosters. There's a lot of dead weight on the sideline.
That's Kestic, not Beninati, who said that. Snapshot here, rings the pipe. A bullet from McKinnon. The race to the sideline. The officials awarding Australia the ball, closest to it on a shot where and when it leaves the playing surface.
Aussies counter-punching, you know, they've done that. Haudenosaunee have kind of set the pace here, maintain the lead, but the Aussies won't go away.
Beautiful day in San Diego. What else is new? Temperatures in the 60s.
Chris Cotter got into town last night. He's already red as a lobster. He just stopped by the booth. We'll be calling a quarterfinal on ESPNU on Wednesday night.
Lockie Walker on the turn. Bouncer, score! Lockie Walker deadlocks this game at 6. 3 unanswered for Australia.
The Aussies have an incredible culture with their national team. They always have. And one thing that's been a consistent is fight. They're in supreme condition, okay? These guys can run all day. They're built differently. They're built with a certain toughness. I guess that's what you get when you live with poisonous snails, snakes, and spiders and sharks everywhere you look. But let me tell you, it manifests itself on the lacrosse field with they're a tough out. They always have been. And you're seeing that right now.
And you've mentioned throughout the day, Haudenosaunee is playing its 4th straight game. Aussies coming off the day off, perhaps with a strong kick in the latter portion of regulation time.
Tim Graham can keep winning face-offs. That's going to be gigantic. Possession time equates to fatigue on defense.
Tim, his 3rd time representing Australia on the world stage. Braden panting, will cool his heels. Running time until the final 30 seconds of the first, second, and third quarters. It's stop time in the final 2 minutes of the 4th.
Joe, that's one thing watching your game last night, you and Teddy, like clock management's a little different in this format because the box is gigantic. There's no shot clock. Like, when do you start holding for a last shot?
Seen a number of different instances. Long drive here.
When do you start holding to ice a game? Up 1 or 2? Like 5 minutes?
United States,
2.5
Canada
minutes?
in the opener last week.
It's very different from anything that we've seen recently in the college or the pro games.
Miscommunication there, kept alive though by Lockie Russell. He goosed it to Mitch Baker. Aussies continue this possession. A little less than 3 minutes with which to work in the 3rd. Panting's inverted, picked up by Heine Thompson. Midfielder playing below the goal line there. Cahill, who had an early event hat trick, marked by Oakley Thomas. Swing it up top, there's Lockie Walker. He usually does his best work from behind the cage. Baker against the short stick defense of midfielder Blake McDonald. Wood bluffs it, gets to the inside, fires, and that's stabbed by Warren Hill.
Nice job by Hill, who kind of fought that one off. It was a tricky, interesting, and impacted release. It didn't come out straight. Sometimes those can handcuff you. Good job by Warren showing some patience.
Kyle Jackson pushing ahead. Pacino inside. Score! Pole to pole. It's Heine Thompson.
Heine Thompson, one of the Thompson brothers with Miles, Lyle, and Jeremy, known for his left-handed shot. He's 35 years old. He's been banged up. He's been dinged up. He didn't play the other day, but Pacino continues to be such a catalyst in transition. Here he just pump fakes the shot, kicks it inside, and you see Spark, the Aussie goalie, is yelling at the bench for a poor substitution.
Piscino's second assist on the day. Heine Thompson, it must be something about Australia. He scored in the World Championships of 2018 in Israel against the Aussie side. He gets this one to push Haudenosaunee back in front near the final minute of the third quarter. Bombery will take it for a ride. Brendan Bombery. Third time for him in a World Championship role.
That's amazing. Third time. That's pretty good.
And then there's Brody Merrill. 5 times for Canada. It's a bunch of guys who are at 4. Andrew Baxter will see England in the nightcap with Canada 4 times in the World Championships.
Brody's so old. I missed playing against Brody by 1 year.
It's amazing. Well, we remember Brody's rookie year of professional ball, 2005 with Baltimore in Major League Lacrosse, eons ago. Zach Miller, final 15 seconds of the frame. Jackson off the roll, gets doubled and planted there, flag down.
This is one of those cases where at times at this event, I've thought that sometimes a good hit, there's an overreaction from the officials. The replay will tell the tale. You know, lacrosse is a collision sport. I think it's really important that the rules protect the head and neck area of athletes who participate. I didn't see much. Was there a cross check? Was there an extension there? Was it high? I'm not quite sure.
As the horn sounds, ending quarter number 3, Haudenosaunee getting that last goal from Heine Thompson, carrying the lead now to the final 15 minutes. This battle for the number 3 seed in Pool A. Both of these squads with 1 and 2 records into play today. Haudenosaunee showing the transition offense. We've had a great offensive game by the long sticks today for both squads in a 7-6 game down the stretch. Smiling for good reason there, the 2023 World Lacrosse Men's Championship, sponsored by Rady Children's Hospital, the largest children's hospital on the West Coast, ranked among the 10 best children's hospitals in the nation. Haudenosaunee getting the strike from Heine Thompson to close the third quarter matters, a 7-6 leader over Australia. And Quint, we wish you and Chris, Kark, and Anish all the very best as the World Championship schedules hit the quarterfinals for Wednesday.
I think what's going to be really interesting and new this year is some of the quote-unquote lower-level teams who now have an ability to fight in this bracket and claw their way up to international respect. Teams like Jamaica, Israel, Italy, Japan, closing the gap on the 2 teams you're watching play right now, and England, and how that's going to look tomorrow in the first round.
Haudenosaunee spinning the ball on extra man. Ed Williams grabs that attackman's stick now. He's been playing close defense in this event. Austin Stotts backpedaling away. Williams fires, and that's plucked out of the air by Ryan Spark.
I think over the next 2 days, you're going to see the best ball in this tournament. I mean, obviously, other than the championship game, but we talk about a first round, some of these matchups, win or go home type ball.
Sloppy clear there for Australia. You mentioned Jamaica. They were unbeaten through Pool D, a 10-6 winner today over New Zealand, as there's a couple of flags down. Austin Stotts walking in against Matt Fuss. Stotts, one of the leading goal scorers in this event, grappling with Ashby Dennis. Known as a good communicator on the back end for the Aussies. McLaughlin, who had a couple of goals in the first half. Stopping and starting. That pass gets away, and now Australia goes a man down.
McLaughlin's done a nice job today, 3 in white. Didn't see that much PT early in this event, but as I said, 23-man rosters. There's going to be a little ebb and flow to everyone's game, and when Kyle Jackson plays like the entire game yesterday, you know other midfielders are going to have to get more shifts, and McLaughlin's done well today.
Turning, quick shot there. A bid from Hogarth that didn't hit pay dirt. McLaughlin, who's been in past indoor champion with the Colorado Mammoth, on his resume. Moves the ball here for Austin Stotts. Stotts, the powerhouse for the home team indoors, the San Diego Seals. Sharp angle, Randy Stotts bluffs it. Back behind the net, looking for a passing lane behind the back. Bullseye! McLaughlin's third of the day off of a brilliant feed.
Randy Stotts being Randy Stotts. Talked about this earlier. Whoop. Why switch to your left hand? Why even need to move your shoulders when you know you got this over the shoulder? It's your third hand. And McLaughlin can't miss today. Lefty,
effortless.
Lefty from Surrey, British Columbia. Keeps it simple. He's bagged his free looks, his available looks.
Clock continues to run. Running time in the fourth quarter until there are 2 minutes left. Jeremy Thompson, who's been running on fumes in this event, gets the draw. Fast break. Stotts fires, and Spark was ready.
Get the feeling that the next goal matters most. That's always going to be in your mindset as a player. Next goal. You have to have a next goal mentality. But in this case, given the physical condition of both these teams, given the clock and score 8-6, the next goal is gigantic.
Not a time yet to shrink the game if you're Haudenosaunee.
No, but if they get a 3-goal cushion, it would be, and that would change everything. And then Australia would have to come out and press and chase, and then things could get really ugly.
Zach Miller working on the perimeter with Kyle Jackson. Parsons Quintio right there with him. Fast feet. Jackson was hoping for a pick from Austin Stotts. He's down and injured. Austin Stotts very slow to get back up to his feet. He's been the powerhouse goal scorer for Haudenosaunee. Started the event with an 8-goal game.
Aussie's protesting. This is Stotts, 83 in white, middle of your screen. He just loses his edge. He's got an ACL issue with that right leg. He tore it in 2019 after what was a terrific NLL season that year. First pick overall back in 2018. Currently playing, I believe, here in San Diego for the Seals.
37 goals and 75 points worth this past season.
The penalty happened after that. It looked like Jackson took some kind of hit to the neck area.
He needed some treatment from athletic trainer Amy Brunel for Haudenosaunee. 8-6 for the Nationals against the Sharks. It's the Australian under-19 team that gets the nickname Crocodiles. This one sent on the way wide of Spark. It's backed up, though, by Austin Stotts.
Their fans are the best. Bottom of the screen, that's a major dive by
not much there.
Kyle Jackson. Not much there. It's an understatement.
Not much there.
It's a seller's market here. Referees were buying.
Spark and the Aussies.
Great farmer's market, Joe. Next Saturday, if you're still in town, Little Italy, it is a buyer's market there. Some of the finest food. One of the finest city farmer's markets I've ever been to in San Diego.
I'd love to hang with you through the weekend, but I'm on a plane before then.
Oh, you got to get to Little Italy while you're in town.
Promise.
And during this clear.
Promised. 9:50 left. Joe Beninati, Quint Kesnick with you. 3 cheers for all the men and women in our technical crew for all their efforts through the first 6 days and then some of this event. Plenty of heavy lifting, 107 games before it's all said and done. The handoff to Tom Graham, who lives these days in Norway. He met a girl in Israel, Quint, followed her to Norway, trains as a cross-country skier, and then picks up the lacrosse stick every once in a while. And does it well. Panting on the move off the split dodge against Ranjan. Long stick midfielder gets there to his hands. Isaac Cahill, an emergency room nurse. 8 in the green.
That's hard work.
Oh, I'll bet. Pacino giving Mitch Baker a rough run. The expectations are very high for 12 in the green.
This is a critical possession in this game.
Cahill on the go, off the screen set by Wood. Get it back behind the cage. Baker took his eyes off that pass. Hill leaving the cage to pressure him, and on the end line, it goes back to Haudenosaunee. Running time until there are 2 minutes left in the fourth. Haudenosaunee 1-2 in pool play. Ditto for Australia. The Aussies win over England in the opener 8-4. Haudenosaunee's victory over England 18-5. England next up on this field against Canada, 7 p.m. Pacific time.
Winner plays number 14 tomorrow night, 7 o'clock at San Diego State on SD Field, and that could be Hong Kong. Loser plays tomorrow afternoon at 4. Looks like that could be Netherlands as the 13.
United States and Canada getting a bye through to the quarterfinal round. Lyle Thompson, little hide and seek back behind the cage.
It'll be Taco Tuesday for Matt Rambo.
Extra salsa?
The fish tacos are supreme.
Zach Miller throwback, Jackson closing, lets it fly wide of the cage. Spark went to the splits. We need a TV timeout halfway through the fourth quarter. Haudenosaunee has another goal from Eli McLaughlin, his third on the day against Ryan Spark. The guys in the white jerseys have the lead down the stretch. We'll get you back to Torero right after these words. Ask and ye shall receive, Quint Kesnick. Manja in Little Italy.
Think about the pasta, the gelato, pesto. My girls went and ate in Little Italy, and they slept well, I'll tell you that much. Prosciutto. You're a big gnocchi fan, Dottie.
Gnocchi.
Or risotto.
Nice. I'll have to make that for you when we get back home. You and I very well could be calling a Canada-Italy quarterfinal. You'll have to get used to names like Cucinello and Tresellini.
It sounds like a dish.
Player or plate? Is he a player or is that a dish? Is it a plate? Time ticking in the fourth. 7 minutes to go now. Haudenosaunee clinging to the 2-goal advantage. If you are just jumping on board with us on the World Championships, no shot clock. Jackson fires, he scores! No worries for Kyle Jackson.
That's a game-changing goal off the timeout. You talk about Coach Scott Mara out of Albany and the execution, you draw it up. It's a really controlled set. Miller with a throwback to Jackson. It's about as good as Kyle Jackson has played. He's looked really strong this summer playing for Andy Towers in the chaos. He and Miller hook up there in what, again, is in my eyes, Joe, just a gigantic goal in this game.
Every time the Haudenosaunees get together as a national team, they are rock stars. They become the home team at the event. And One Bowl Productions is a TV and film crew that's been embedded with the Haudenosaunee for several weeks now, making a documentary called Our Game. We're happy to help raise awareness and excitement in advance of that film. It should be terrific. The exposure, the access they are getting to these tremendous athletes who have a 9-6 advantage with a little less than 6 minutes to go.
They are the biggest story. They always have been. We could play this event anywhere, Europe, Asia, Australia, and they would be the home team. It's their game, a game that's a gift from the creator. A game that was first played amongst the animals, and I love that about it. The four-legged animals against the winged animals. And ultimately, the MVP was the bat.
The bat?
And the bat originally wasn't invited to play, and that shows you that this game is inclusive.
No wings involved?
Everyone can play. You can be a bear like Austin Stotts.
He is a bear.
You can be an eagle like Lyle Thompson.
True.
All shapes and sizes. This game welcomes all.
Randy Stotts has possession now for Haudenosaunee. Without that shot clock and now the 3-goal advantage, you would expect methodical possessions for Lars Tiffany's squad. McLaughlin feed. What an afternoon it has been for Eli McLaughlin, giving his team a much-needed shot in the arm. This is their 4th straight day on the turf. Austin Stotts powering in, draws a flag against the defender Ashby Dennis. Bluffs it with one, feeds to McLaughlin from deep. That straightens up Spark. It was too high.
Austin goes by the nickname Audie. Played for the OCC Lasers and Six Nations. Listed at 220. I think he might be more. It's impossible to dislodge the ball from his cross.
Randy Stotts is straight away. Bombery's next, skip it on through. One-touch passing, just beautiful to watch as the extra man unit for Haudenosaunee goes to work. Backed up on the end line, bringing it in. It's the maestro, Lyle Thompson.
The way they string their sticks, there aren't gigantic whips or hooks in them, Joe, and allows them to snap that ball out quickly. It's a passing pocket.
Aussies back to full strength. 3.5 minutes left. Lyle Thompson and Haudenosaunee, should they hang on, they would be the number 3 seed in the playoff round, the first round which begins tomorrow. Austin Stotts challenged on the perimeter by Moffitt. Head coach Meredith has had so many great conversations with Chris leading into this, his first World Championship.
Looks like the Haudenosaunee now have gone into a little bit more of a stall mode, a little bit more patience.
And the officials are asking them to keep it in the box. The stall warning is on. Spark makes a save. They scramble for the rebound, and it's dunked home. No goal, though. Going to wash it out. No goal for Haudenosaunee. It stays 9-6.
Door's still open now for the Aussies.
Officials in a conference in front of the timekeeper's table with a flag down. Both sides eager to hear.
That left foot hop in the crease before the ball crossed the goal line.
That was the call there. And then an unnecessary roughness foul has been spotted.
On 45, Randy Stotts.
Which is what the doctor would have ordered for Australia.
But a penalty also on Australia.
Correct, so you're going to get the 5-on-5 play. Millsop, you see him emerging from the sin bin. 2:40 left, timeout on the field, and the teams will gather around looking for lectures from their head coaches.
You know, the Netherlands and Hong Kong, China are watching this here, probably scouting it. And I watched Hong Kong, China play earlier today at San Diego State, home of the Aztecs. 2 beautiful fields over there. Actually 3. I saw 2 of them. Got to see the Israeli team looking good. That's a team that's come on the scene, Joe, and Netanya, and now this year, 4 years later, they're a primetime player already. Nathan Solomon's been one of their top guns. Earlier today, Wales beat France, Q, get this, in 4 overtimes. Dylan Braddock with a game winner in that one. Stone Evans, who's still in high school. He's a verbal to Air Force. Young man that I met from Connecticut up during championship weekend back in 2021. He plays for Jamaica, and he's been tearing it up this week. Jamaica to play in the 7-10 playoff game with Italy. Italy will be the number 7 seed. Got to watch out for John Piatelli, who ripped up Scotland for 3+3. You mentioned their roster, and I just get hungry. Can we bring some red wine and call that game together tomorrow afternoon? That could get very interesting, and especially, you want to just make believe do like a dry run? It would have to only be a wet run. Considering that I gave it up 5 years ago, that wouldn't go over so well. I might not make it through the first quarter. 9-6 Haudenosaunee. Zed Williams with the long pole, playing defensively in this event. Lars Tiffany thought this would be the perfect stage for Zed to give it a try, and Lars and the coaching staff has given him the toughest defensive assignment day after day, and he's played well with it. A+. Zed Williams gets an A+, and I think talk about his growth after this. Why? Well, because he's out of his comfort zone right now. And when he goes back to his normal offensive position, I think he's looking at a strong second half of the season.
The Aussies have the ball. Glenn Meredith's the head coach. Rod Ansel, Peter Brown, Glenn Morley assisting in this effort. Australia at 1-2. Haudenosaunee at 1-2. And now in the waning stages of the fourth.
Got to be nearly perfect here for Australia. You got the face-off man, Tim Graham, to pull this off, but they're dealing with a make-it-take-it type scenario only.
And a 5-on-5 situation. On the move, Cal Gibson. He's been quiet. Scored against the United States, scored against Canada. Now puts one off the outside of the goal. And Hill clamps onto it from the crease and starts Pacino back the other direction. Pacino already with 2 assists in the game today.
You're in slowdown mode right now if you're the Haudenosaunee. Up 3 with 1:50 to go. Spread the field. Get your good two-way personnel out there.
And now inside of the last 2 minutes, in dead ball situations, the clock will stop.
They're going to try to finish the game on this possession.
Wouldn't be surprising for Jackson to try and play keep away here. Randy Stotts stepping in off the sideline. Has the ball in his cross. Sun continues to beat down on Torero Stadium. Through the glare, it's Thompson. Lyle, that is. Measured on the outside. Moffitt looking for a takeaway check. Back to 6-on-6 with 60 seconds to go. Aussies have to challenge now, need to create a double team and a turnover. Hard to do against Lyle Thompson. Floats it over the top. Randy Stotts absorbs the hit from Howard. Keep away continues. 35 seconds remain. Flag down.
These two teams could meet again in this tournament. So you want to control your tempers here late.
This is the second to last game in Pool A play. The last one is Canada and England coming up later on this surface. Great scoop and score! To finish matters, it's Brendan Bomberry.
The Haudenosaunee play this game in script. That is, they don't print things. They play lacrosse in cursive. It's like calligraphy. And today, at 6-6, they have responded late in this game. Showed a workmanlike trait as well. I got them for 4 straight goals. Ayanna Thompson, Stotts, Kyle Jackson, and now Brendan Bomberry with the icing.
8 seconds away from banking their second win for the Haudenosaunee faithful. Brooker Muir will take this final draw for the Haudenosaunee, 52 in white.
They've shown the combination of being able to play in calligraphy, but also the structure and discipline throughout this tournament. Really impressed with their defense today.
Jackson Stock lost his lid on the draw. That will do it. Haudenosaunee prevails by the final of 10-6, and in Pool A, 1-2-3, United States, Canada, Haudenosaunee.
Well, that's an effort to be proud of. I tell you, this team has treated this tournament to back-to-back night games and losses to USA and Canada that were just riveting and thrilling contests. Tonight, they come up on the right end of the ledger, picking up the 10-6 win with a 4-goal spurt to end things. I thought the defense was outstanding, 3 out. And who would have guessed that Eli McLaughlin may be their MVP?
Eli McLaughlin, just watch him in practice, watch his highlights indoors. An outstanding finisher, and he clicked for 3 today when Haudenosaunee needed it most. This team on fumes, playing 4 straight against those from down under, gets the win.
And that's why this game matters. You look at this Haudenosaunee team, they're spent, they're tired, but man, they sucked it up and they finished this game. They played with terrific, terrific courage and strength and smarts, and they get the big W.
For Quint Kesnick, for all the men and women in our crew, Joe Beninati, thanks so much for your time. The Haudenosaunee showing off A late second half kick, the last 4 goals of the game to down Australia. A 10-6 winner from Torero. Stick around, Canada and England, 7 p.m. Pacific on ESPN+.